Disney has once again found itself in the middle of controversy, this time regarding the new international poster for the upcoming live-action Snow White film starring Rachel Zegler. According to an article from That Park Place, there is speculation that Disney may have altered Zegler's skin tone in the international version of the poster to make her appear lighter compared to the American version. This kind of change, whether intentional or not, has sparked discussion and debate across social media. It raises the question, is this just a matter of lighting differences, or is there something more deliberate happening here? Disney has a history of making such alterations for international audiences, particularly in regions where different racial and cultural biases come into play. This makes it difficult for some to give the company the benefit of the doubt in this particular case. To analyze the situation properly, let's take a close look at the newly released international poster and compare it to the American version. Upon initial observation, the differences are subtle. Some might argue that the contrast is due to lighting and tonal adjustments rather than an actual change in Zegler's skin tone. However, when placed side by side, as some Twitter users have done, the alteration does appear noticeable to some degree. The American poster presents her with a slightly darker, more natural complexion, while the international version seems to lighten her features, giving her a more traditional Snow White look. While some may dismiss this as a minor adjustment, in lighting, others remain skeptical, especially considering Disney's past actions. It's not the first time the company has been accused of modifying promotional materials to cater to certain audiences. One of the most infamous instances was with the Chinese release of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. In the American version of the movie's poster, John Boyega's character, Finn, was prominently featured as one of the leading heroes. However, in the Chinese version, his presence was significantly reduced, making him appear as a minor character rather than a main protagonist. This clear instance of racial erasure caused massive backlash, with many accusing Disney of pandering to discriminatory practices in international markets. It was evident that Boyega, a black actor, was deliberately minimized in promotional materials for China. Whether Disney was directly responsible for this decision, or if it was done at the request of Chinese distributors, remains unclear. But the fact remains that the alteration was made and the damage was done. Another example that adds to this pattern was seen with Black Panther. In the American version of the film's promotional materials, Chadwick Boseman's face was clearly visible, showcasing the black lead of the movie with pride. However, in the Chinese version of the same poster, his face was completely covered by the Black Panther mask, removing any identifiable racial features. These instances contribute to the lack of trust that some people have toward Disney when it comes to issues of representation. The company often promotes diversity and inclusion in its marketing campaigns, but has been caught multiple times making modifications that seemingly contradict those values. This history makes it difficult for Disney to be given the benefit of the doubt when similar concerns arise, as is the case with the Snow White international poster. With the Snow White controversy, some social media users have debated whether this change in Zegler's appearance is truly deliberate or just an unintended result of lighting variations. Some have pointed out that while there is a slight difference in her skin tone, it is not as drastic as the Star Wars or Black Panther modifications. Others believe that given Disney's track record, there is enough reason to be suspicious. On Twitter, opinions have been mixed. One user commented, "She does look slightly lighter, but it seems more like a change in lighting and shadows rather than an intentional skin tone change." Another stated, "Disney has done this before. It's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if they made her look more white for international audiences." Another interesting perspective came from a Twitter user who suggested that Rachel Zegler should have been cast as the Evil Queen rather than Snow White. This comment aligns with some of the larger debates that have surrounded this movie since its casting announcement. Many fans were initially critical of Disney's decision to cast Zegler, who is of Colombian and Polish descent, as Snow White, a character historically depicted with fair skin. This led to ongoing discussions about whether Disney should remain faithful to the traditional look of certain characters or embrace more diverse casting choices. Regardless of where one stands on the issue, the Snow White poster debate highlights a larger conversation about Hollywood's treatment of race and representation. Some argue that the slight alterations in lighting are being blown out of proportion, while others believe that Disney's history with international marketing justifies a closer examination of their practices. The controversy also speaks to a broader issue with global media and how studios often make changes to appease different markets. China, for example, has strict censorship rules and unique preferences when it comes to the portrayal of race in film. Many Western studios adjust their marketing and even film content to ensure that their movies can be released in the Chinese market, which is one of the largest in the world. However, these changes often come at the expense of diversity and inclusion, as seen in past examples with Disney. Even though this particular Snow White poster change is relatively minor compared to previous controversies, it still reflects the challenges of maintaining consistent representation in a global industry. The entertainment industry has made progress in embracing diversity, but there is still work to be done to ensure that actors of all backgrounds receive fair and equal treatment in marketing and promotional materials. For Disney, these ongoing discussions serve as a reminder that audiences are paying attention. The internet has made it easier than ever to compare versions of posters, trailers, and promotional materials, making it difficult for companies to quietly make adjustments without being called out. The backlash from past incidents has put Disney in a position where even minor changes are scrutinized, whether they are intentional or not. At the end of the day, the Snow White poster controversy might not be as blatant as previous instances of racial erasure, but it is still a topic worth discussing. Whether or not this was an intentional move by Disney, the skepticism surrounding the company's history is understandable. The entertainment giant must be more transparent and consistent with its representation efforts if it truly wants to earn the trust of its diverse audience. What do you think? Was this just a difference in lighting, or do you believe Disney made a deliberate decision to adjust Rachel Zegler's appearance for international audiences? Either way, this conversation isn't going away anytime soon, and Disney will likely have to address these concerns if they hope to avoid further backlash in the future. Disney's live-action Snow White is back in the spotlight after the release of a new international poster and trailer. This latest promotional material has sparked controversy, with many noticing a distinct change in Rachel Zegler's appearance. Specifically, her skin tone appears lighter in the international poster, leading to speculation about whether Disney intentionally altered her complexion to align more closely with the classic animated version of Snow White. Given Disney's history of modifying marketing materials for international audiences, people are questioning whether this was an intentional move or simply the result of lighting differences. Rachel Zegler, who is of Colombian and white heritage, has been at the center of controversy since being cast as Snow White. She previously made headlines with her comments about the character and the film itself, which many fans found off-putting. Now, with the latest poster showing a noticeably lighter skin tone, discussions have reignited about Disney's marketing strategies and whether they are attempting to make Zegler appear more traditionally fair-skinned. The controversy is fueled by past instances where Disney has altered posters for international markets. A well-known example is the Star Wars The Force Awakens poster in China, where actor John Boyega, a major character in the film, was significantly minimized compared to the American version. Similarly, promotional materials for Black Panther were adjusted, raising concerns about Disney's approach to race and representation in different regions. These past actions make it difficult for Disney to be given the benefit of the doubt when similar accusations arise. Looking at the two Snow White posters side by side, the difference is subtle. Some argue that it is merely a result of lighting and shadow adjustments rather than an intentional change. Others, however, point to Disney's track record and remain skeptical. Social media discussions have been divided, with some fans believing the change is minor, and others insisting it is deliberate. The debate is further amplified by Zegler's own past remarks about not wanting to bleach her skin for the role, which now appears ironic given the current controversy. The reception of the live-action Snow White has already been overwhelmingly negative, largely due to Zegler's public comments. She has been criticized for her attitude towards the original film, with many accusing her of being dismissive and arrogant. This has led to significant backlash, with audiences already predisposed to scrutinizing any promotional material related to the movie. The film's trailers have also been met with harsh criticism, racking up hundreds of thousands of dislikes on YouTube. The most recent trailer, released just 5 days ago, has accumulated over 144,000 dislikes compared to only 6,000 likes. Previous trailers have surpassed 1 million dislikes each, indicating the extent of public disapproval. Comment. Sections under the trailers and posters are filled with negative feedback. Fans are not expressing excitement, but rather disappointment and frustration. Many believe the film is doomed to fail regardless of how Disney markets it. The controversy surrounding the poster is just another addition to the long list of issues plaguing this production. While some people are willing to give Disney the benefit of the doubt regarding the poster, many remain skeptical due to the company's history. The changes in lighting and contrast may be innocent, but Disney's past actions make it difficult to dismiss concerns entirely. The film was already facing a significant uphill battle, and this latest controversy only adds to its troubles. Even if Disney were to digitally alter Zegler's complexion throughout the entire movie, it is unlikely that it would change the overall perception of the film. The backlash against Zegler, combined with general skepticism about Disney's live-action remakes, means that Snow White is likely to struggle at the box office. Rachel Zegler's previous film performances have not helped her case. Her last major movie, a Y2K-inspired film released during the Christmas season, failed to make an impact. Many believe her lack of box office draw is due to her own actions and attitude, as she has alienated potential audiences with her controversial statements. At this point, the Snow White live-action film seems destined for failure, with or without the poster controversy. Public perception has already been shaped by negative press, and any attempt to salvage the film's reputation is met with resistance. The latest marketing misstep only adds fuel to the fire, ensuring that the film remains a topic of heated discussion. What do you think? Do you believe Disney intentionally altered Rachel Zegler's appearance in the international poster? Or is this simply a case of lighting differences? Is this controversy justified, or is it a non-issue? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this discussion, please like, subscribe, and share the video. Don't forget to check if you're still subscribed and hit the notification bell for updates on future content. See you in the next one. Peace.